Hello, me she-devils and demons. This is Nurse Hatchet. You are listening to the Wolf Pack.
The genre of horror is a great expanse. We want to explore it. We've spent years building our credibility, our reputation, interviewing people from all levels of horror, discussing visual and literary horror. This is our exploration. This is
Wow, that's fun.
Yes, who?
That's an intro.
Yes, it is.
You have reached the answering machine of Dr. Frankenstein. Please leave a message at the sound of the grrr. Welcome to another exciting episode of Dr. Frankenstein's horror show. I am your host, Dr. Frankenstein, and with me as always is Igor, my trusty lab assistant. Say hello, Igor.
goodness. Is that you, Loki? It's your big brother, Thor. So, I finally found you, brother, haven't I?
No.
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 No?
No.
Okay. So, we're doing a show, are we?
No.
No?
No.
Okay. So, Loki, what are we going to be chatting about on this occasion? Are we going to talk about brave battles, and feasting with big-breasted women and all that kind of fun?
No.
Well, then what are we going to be chatting about?
Oh, time travel and displacement and body parts and such.
Oh.
You know.
Oh, okay. Well, okay, now, come on. What the hell is this, Mr. Highland? This fat guy with a beard is sitting in my chair. Don't you remember to, didn't you remember to lock the door of the studio? Oh my, come on, get out of there. Back off, scum. I am the god of thunder. Well, go fart someplace else, boy. Come on, and don't fart in my chair. Come on, out. Out with you. Okay, Mr. Island. So
did Balcazar suddenly become human?
No. No, that was just some homeless guy. Oh my God. What a smell. Oh my God, Mr. Island. His big fat guy with a beard and, big old beer gut, and he smelled like he'd been in a kennel. Yeesh. And he was carrying this big ass axe. I don't, with a trunk of something stuck to it. Ugh. Alrighty, so this is William Pattison, aka Eric Morris, aka the King of Splatterpunk, and along with me is, of course, the horror sex symbol, aka Horror Jesus, Mr. Christopher Highland. Sorry I'm late, as I said, having fun, having people asking me to watch out for delivery people and such. Alrighty, so I'm all excited about tonight. This is gonna be a fun show. Almost forgot, of course.
What?
It's that time
What?
in the show.
What?
We got to acknowledge our sponsor.
Oh, again?
Yes, again. We always have to acknowledge our sponsors.
Oh.
And our sponsor is Toastios. I see it all the time. Your friends invite you out, and you're always busy. Eventually, they invite someone else, like, say, Christopher Highland. Do you really want Christopher Highland hanging out with your friends, taking selfies, bonding over chips and chips, becoming BFFs forever? Suddenly, you'll find Christopher Highland at your sister's wedding, where you're supposed to be, or even be her bridesmaid in your place. And oh my God, Mr. Highland, you do not look good in mauve. And you Highlanded.
Well, I do have $1 million legs.
Okay.
I do.
Good. But as I said, don't get Christopher Highlanded. Gets together already with Toastios. And also, we've got a new sponsor as well. And this one, Mr. Highland will appreciate, because our new sponsor is 80s Slasher Librarian. Go check out his YouTube page. He does narrations on Friday the 13th books, Freddy books, all kinds of books, about our favorite franchise slashers. So check out
And I suggest
Slasher Librarian. And what did you want to say about him, Mr.
I
Hyde?
was going to say that I suggested books to him, including novelizations, including one that I have recently read of the movie The Pit, the book Teddy that I recently read on my computer, and much better than the movie, because anyone who's familiar with the book and the movie knows that the novelization is much closer to what the original script was supposed to be.
Really? I didn't.
Yeah, they really changed
Eddie.
the story for the movie. And
Well, yeah, a movie about a smart mouth bear, teddy bear is,
well, in the movie, the bear doesn't really do anything, but in the book, oh God, oh God, that book is incredibly dirty.
Oh, cool. So Teddy was a lot more rambunctious in the book. Oh, cool.
Yes, this is a novelization that people should check out.
Oh, definitely. Then, if Teddy's really something. Alrighty, Mr. Highland, it's that time.
That's fine.
And it is time, people.
Oh.
Mr. Highland has spent the entire month,
Yes, I have, and I'm
looking for that weird, that strange, that horror news. Wish I'd been.
And this is one of those times when I am sorely disappointed at the rather lack of quality news.
Yeah,
because there has been nothing but tumbleweeds out there, and those tumbleweeds just slip through my fingers and turn into dust. That's how bad it is.
Yeah, I know.
Absolutely.
I've had trouble finding horror news myself.
But I did manage to get two things. And in no particular order, I will get to them. And first, and this is a book that I've mentioned a few times in the past, but I will mention it again, for which now the audiobook is now on sale, and that is The Nest by Gregory A. Douglas. And as I've said before, this book delivers in all the right places and is surprisingly well written. But no, I have not caught the movie version of it. So I cannot say how it compares to the movie, but the book is quite a work of art when it comes to horror fiction. So anyone who wants to listen to that instead of reading it can do so now. And last, but certainly not the least, anyone who is a fan of John Carpenter's The Thing, and there's quite a few who are, Slimer, the novel by Harry Adam Knight, is now narrated as an audiobook, and this is one that I've been looking forward to for quite some time. Plot of this book and the plot of The Thing are very similar, but there are enough differences. It takes place on an oil rig, and this is actually adapted from a script that was being shopped around but wasn't able to be made as a movie, so they turned it into a novel instead. So, a little trivia for you, then anyone who's interested can check this out. Okay. Sorry I didn't have more, but it happens sometimes. Sorry, folks. So, Eric, what did you manage to get?
Well, the thing is, I mean, I had less time than you had. I had one day to go around and look for horror news, and as you said, tumbleweeds and that. But I managed to find 3 items. They're not that great, but I mean, it's something for the horror fans. Alrighty, so first one, Hot Topic is exclusively selling an Elvira Mistress of Dark pop tea from Funko. Although it retails for $24.90, it is currently at Hot Topic for $19.92. In addition to the shirt, the box can be used as a display diorama for your Funko Pop Elvira figure, which is sold separately, of course. Isn't that wonderful? Alrighty, next. Super 7 has created a black magic variant of its Slayer Minotaur reaction figure inspired by the band's 1983 debut album, Show No Mercy. The limited edition retro style figure includes a black cape and matching sword accessory. The standard edition has been restocked as well. Each version is priced at $15. What the hell? $15? I mean, you know what size those reaction figures are, right, Mr. Highland? They're the size of the original Star Wars figures, the little tiny things. That was for $5. $15? What a ripoff. Anyways, alrighty, so here's my last little pick. Pixel Excelsior has released an 8-bit Michael Myers soft enamel pin. It measures 2 inches tall and glows in the dark, and it costs $8. Whoa. Boy, that's a lot of fantastic horror news, isn't it, Mr. Highland?
Well, more than mine.
Alrighty, so now it is time for the part that Mr. Highland absolutely enjoys, because Scream Factory releases. Alrighty, so our first release, which is coming out on August 27th, 2019, is Fear in the Night on Blu-ray, which means Mr. Highland really needs to get a Blu-ray player, because he's missing out on all these damn films. But anyways,
I know. Not just a Blu-ray player. You know what I need? A region-free Blu-ray player.
Yes.
That's what I need.
Yes, you do. Anyways, this film is selling right now for $21.99. List price is $26.99. Alrighty, so let's get into the synopsis. Synopsis: Cushing and Bates are great in their roles, as is Collins. A solid, well-produced film that anyone, fans of the genre or not, will enjoy, from the Telltale Mind. Recovering from a recent nervous breakdown, a young woman, played by Judy Gleason from Hammerhead, moves with her new husband, Ralph Bates, of Horror of Frankenstein, to a rural boarding school where she meets a peculiar headmaster, horror film icon Peter Cushing, and his lusty wife, Joan Collins, from Empire of the Ants. When the fragile newlywed is repeatedly stalked and assaulted by a one-armed man, her terror escalates to a frenzy of madness and murder. Or does it? If she can survive one night of fear, then the morning promises even more shocking surprise. All right. So next one is Horror of Frankenstein. That one will be released on August 20th. $21.99 was $26.99. Okay, synopsis. The dead shall rise again. Horror of Frankenstein remains a solid, often surprising film that is perfect for horror fans who can appreciate a few sly laughs being mixed in with the usual chills. Allmovie.com. Victor Frankenstein returns from medical school with a deprived taste for beautiful women and fiendish experiments. When he runs out of fresh body parts for his research, he turns to murder to complete his gruesome creation. Now his monster, played by David Prowse of Star Wars films, has unleashed its horrifying killing spree. The true horror of Dr. Frankenstein have only just begun. Well, that's great. You know, Mr. Highland is a big David Prowse fan. He'd love that one, wouldn't you, Mr. Highland?
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Okay, here's one that's in Blu-ray and other formats, including DVD. I Trapped the Devil. And it comes out August 20th, 2019. Oh, and it's even within your price range, Mr. Highland.
What?
$18.97. Alrighty. Synopsis. Christmas is supposed to be a time of peace and joy for family reunions, but when Matt, A.J. Bowen, and his wife Karen, Susan Burke, show up unannounced at the home of his estranged brother, Steve, Scott Prothres, to celebrate the holidays, they are instead greeted with a horrifying surprise. Trapped in Steve's basement is a man, but not just any man. Steve believes his hostage is none other than the devil himself. As shock and skepticism turn to fear and paranoia, Matt and Karen find themselves facing a terrifying quandary. Is Steve dangerously unhinged, or could the mysterious stranger really be the embodiment of evil incarnate? Either way, the stage is set for a true Christmas from hell in this provocative holiday horror. Doesn't that sound like something that Rod Sterling wrote?
Probably. There's just one thing I can't get over.
What?
When you mentioned A.J. Bowen, I flashed back to when he was on Day Green's show when he said he doesn't like the Doors.
Oh my God. All right. Oh, here's something you're gonna love. Our final thing, and you know it's good. It fits in with what with our movie for tonight. We have a special collector's edition of Roger Corman's Galaxy of Terror limited edition steelbook with exclusive lithograph. And oh my God, the artwork on this is fantastic. It is magnificent. I wish you could see that for $24.99. Unfortunately, it's Blu-ray, Mr. Highland, so you lose out. But it's part of their Scream Factory's Roger Corman's Cult Classics. And you get a free 28 by 5 by 16 rolled lithograph featuring the new artwork. Synopsis. Enough spurting gore and bone-crushing excess to make even Lucio Fulci pleased. DVDDrivein.com. The mind's innermost fears become reality for the crew members of the Quest when they land on a barren planet to rescue survivors from the starship Remus. The crew investigates a giant pyramid on the planet, hoping to find the missing crew members, only to find something deadly awaiting for them instead. Each crew member must come face to face with their darkest fears or perish. The crew of the quest include Edward Albert, Aaron Morgan, Ray Walston, Robert Englund, Zaman King, and the great Sid Haig. This film had of new and emerging talents behind the camera as well, including James Cameron, who did the production design, and Bill Paxton, who worked as set decorator. Wow, huh?
Hey, what's this movie again?
Galaxy of Terror.
Oh, right, that one. Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah. So, anyways, bonus features: 4K scan of the original film elements, audio commentary with cast and crew, Tales from the Lumberyard, the making of Galaxy of Terror, a 6-part documentary featuring interviews with producer Roger Corman, director, co-writer Bruce D. Clark, and co-writer Mark Segler, actors Robert Englund, Sid Haig, Taffy O'Connor, and more. And it also includes theatrical trailers. So that is it for Scream Factory. I know Mr. Highland's going to definitely want to pull out his money and get himself a copy of that Steelbook edition, aren't you?
No.
No? Oh my God. Alrighty, so now it is time for movie reviews. And I know Mr. Highland's got something fantastic for us, don't you, Mr. Highland?
Not really. The movies this time are just rather lackluster. I thought they were going to be interesting, but no. Mm-mm.
Hey, you did better than I did. I had a hell of a time trying to find movies. I was lucky that I had Pluto TV on my phone, so I found a couple of films from Pluto TV to review.
I'm sure you've heard of the movies that I'm going to discuss. And the first one is called Contamination from 1980. Does that sound familiar?
Nope.
Okay, well, this is an Italian movie, and anyone who knows this movie knows that Goblin did the soundtrack.
Ooh.
And it definitely sounds like their style. So at the very least, see it for that. But that's not to say it's an entirely bad movie. Basically, what this is about is, well, some might say, oh, it's kind of a ripoff of Alien. No, not quite. Some might say it was even inspired by it. But it's about these eggs, these alien eggs that were found at first found on the ship. And that kills on contact when they explode. And these people are investigated. These people investigate to find out where they came from, and it turns out they came from Mars. And so they're being eradicated here and there, and these investigators, they go down to South America to track down, the rest of them. And it turns out they're being utilized for some secret plot, but they don't know exactly what. So they find out who's behind it all, and there's this monster who's, if I remember correctly, laying eggs and also eats people as well. as well. And so they have to destroy all the rest of these eggs, and that happens. And again, nothing really exciting, but it's exciting enough. But as with a lot of these Italian movies, there's dubbing, and at least for me, it took away from the movie, but it was okay. Again, nothing spectacular, but at the very least, see it for the soundtrack. As for what I would give it for a rating, I would say 3 out of 5. I just expected more, but that's me.
Yeah.
Okay, for next, now this is a movie that I've seen in bits and pieces in the past, but never the whole way through. But finally I did now. And this is the anthology film called Nightmares. Do you know that one?
Oh, yeah. I actually watched it in the theater, and I had a copy of it in my collection.
Okay. Well, this was in the style of, not Amicus, but Hammer. And these are 4 unrelated stories. Now, some might say, oh, it's in the style and very much of the movie Trilogy of Terror, where the previous stories, except for the last one, are really the important one. And I would agree with that assessment. I mean, the previous 3 stories weren't really all that well written. I mean, the one with the arcade game, that one was a little bit better than average. I was rather surprised that the 3rd story had Lance Henriksen. I mean, that one could have been better since it had him in it. But that story with the truck chasing him, and then all of a sudden just disappeared. I mean, it could have been much better. But of course, the last one had that giant rat, and that one was, ow. So, well, because of that story, the movie is not a total loss. Let's see, what rating would I give it? I would say 2.5 out of 5. Yeah. That's all I have. And you?
Alrighty. Oh, well. Thing is, on Bloodbath Theater for the last couple of years, I've been showing the trailer for this film that I'm starting out with. I've been like, oh boy, I want to see this because I haven't been able to find it anyplace. And finally found it, because I was so desperate, and I finally found it on Pluto Television. That being Thanksgiving 3, 2012. Yes, the return of Turkey. Yeah, if you recall Thanksgiving, it's a slasher film kind of with a demonic turkey that has a foul mouth. And, this is the return of it. And the thing is that they skipped Thanksgiving 2 and made Thanksgiving 2 part of the plot of Thanksgiving 3. The thing is that for me, the writer of this film, let me see in my notes, who also directed it, Jordan Downey, is a complete another nutcase. Because who else would do a horror movie which was pretty much 90% puppets?
Yeah, I mean, who does that these days?
Yes,
Huh?
who does that these days? Puppets. I mean, not overly scary puppets. I'm talking Muppet type puppets.
Yeah, I mean, who would make a movie like that's a complete slasher movie?
Yeah, well, it wasn't actually a complete slasher movie.
I know, but still.
It was more kind of a comedy slash fantasy thing.
I'm not talking The Dark Crystal, which is a movie I could not get into.
No, we're talking more the Feebles type.
Yes, and I rewatched that. I rewatched that a few days ago with someone, and loved it. They did.
Yeah.
Anyway, you were saying?
Anyways, the thing is that the plot of this thing is that what happened is that Thanksgiving that takes place totally in space. And the thing is that Turkey had put a curse on it, and the production company found out, so they pulled all the copies of it and never released Thanksgiving 2, and that they destroyed all the copies except for one. And Turkey found out about this, and he is, he's living a life with his wife, who's his wife and his little baby turkey, this little, oh god, talking little baby turkey, which they did as kind of like a stick puppet that just all it has is this little thing to move its mouth. And they do a female turkey, which she's like perfect housewife, and Turkey's this just, oh god, this foul mouth. When he ends up, he kills his wife, he chops her head in half, and he decides to take his son with him because his son is scared, and he says, "Oh no, Dad, I'll come with you. Oh, I want to be evil too." This is exactly how he sounds. "Yes, Dad, I'll be absolutely evil too, just like you." He's like, "Oh, all right. I'll take you with me. We've got to find that copy of Thanksgiving 2. So, anyways, the thing is that then we jump to this guy who is selling automatic turkey pluckers and cookers. You know, the turkey plucker 1000 or something like that. And he finds this puppet, this living puppet in a garbage can. And the thing is that she's lost her mind. She's literally lost her mind. It's taken off some place. So now she's on a quest looking for her mind. This Muppet looking thing with no nose. He has to, you know, she doesn't know anything about Thanksgiving, and it's Thanksgiving Day. So he takes her home with him. Now, the guy, he's dressed up, you know, like, I don't know if he's Edwardian. He looks like Blue Boy with a big old white wig on. You know, sort of like the Washington type deal. And his brother is dressed up the same way, and he gets home and, you know, they've got this giant turkey plucker 1000 there that he's got turned off, and he's telling the puppet that, oh, you know, I'm getting money together so that I can make Thanksgiving Land. It's going to be a theme park where you have gravy boats and all this different Thanksgiving style food related rides and stuff. And his brother, this stupid brother who walks around with this fake pike, he's going to be the security guy to keep people in line. So, anyways, then there's the grandmother who's living there. She's a puppet, and she's a rapping grandma. She looks absolutely stupid and whacked out. You know, the person who designed this puppet must have been nuts. Anyway, so what ends up happening is Turkey, he's flying around on a seagull, and he has to use his son to find the copy of Thanksgiving 2, which actually the puppet has. She found it in the garbage can and put it in her bag. Anyway, so he takes his kid, he throws his kid off of the thing and takes his soul out of his body and shoots it across the city to try to have his son track down the DVD. And so his son ends up finding it, and he possesses the DVD. So now his son is this DVD with this little talking turkey on there, going, "Oh yeah, I'm evil turkey now." Anyway, so Turkey ends up he ends up at those one's house. He kills the brother. There ends up being a fight. And Turkey gets knocked into the turkey plucker 1000. He gets plucked and roasted and kicked out into this pile of turkey carcasses, but he ends up coming back to life. Anyways, then all of a sudden, this robot shows up, and he's got like this bisexual alien space worm on his shoulder. It's got a little mustache on it, and it's a stick puppet. So all it does is it goes back and forth, and the guy's talking through over it. Has a voiceover over it. Well, anyways, Turkey comes back to life. And the thing is, the turkey plucker had plucked off his man part. So he has these dead zombie turkeys help him try to fit himself back together. And he replaces his missing man part. He does a Bruce Campbell, and he puts his chainsaw on there. So he's got this big gold chainsaw turkey dick on there. He's like, so anyways, he manages to come back. He steals the copy of Thanksgiving with his kid's soul in it, and he gets away into turkey hell. And so the thing is that the puppet and the worm, they have to disguise themselves as turkeys to go down into turkey hell to stop Turkey from broadcasting on the internet Thanksgiving 2. So anyways, yeah, and they use a lot of stick puppets in this damn movie. A lot of stick puppets. And it's not scary, but it is hilarious because you're going, what the fuck? If you'd actually seen Thanksgiving and you think, oh well, oh boy, we got the sequel. Actually, we got the third sequel to this. It should be good. And you're going, what the fuck am I watching? Got this turkey with his big old giant turkey dick chainsaw thing, and this and the puppet with no mind, and the guy with the white wig on, and looking like Blue Boy walking around. I don't know. Honestly, Mr. Highland, this would be more your cup of tea than mine.
Yes. And you know what else the crew of this movie should also do? Not just make more movies, but you know what else they should do?
What?
They should go to various horror conventions and put on puppet shows.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely. Oh.
I cannot believe that no convention has had that yet.
No, I'm surprised too, because the thing is that this movie, let's just put it this way, this movie got DVD release and nobody wanted to watch a movie with a horror movie with puppets. So
conventions don't have a horror comedy version of Punch and Judy shows. I mean, they could do one with Chucky and Brad Dourif. Can you imagine Brad Dourif doing that?
Oh, I can imagine Brad Dourif doing a lot of things. Oh yeah, you heard. It's not Brad Dourif doing Chucky in the new movie. They're having Mark Hamill play Chucky.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, so now to my rating on this film. For creativity, I'll give it a 3 at the most. Because it's like, that in the opening is worth it when they show the woman in the spacesuit with the glass things on the tits, showing the tits. That brings it up to a number 3 for me. Wasn't a very attractive woman though, but whatever. Anyway, so yeah, so thanks, Killing 3 stars. And that's a hard 3 stars, believe me. That's a hard 3 stars for me to actually give it 3 stars because I was having trouble watching it.
I'm not me.
Alrighty, so you actually watched it?
Yes.
Alrighty, the next one's another one Mr. Highland might like. Because Mr. Highland is high into art house films. And he's high into art house vampire films. Right, Mr. Highland?
Well, it depends on what it is.
Okay, well, this is a 2012 film, and it's called Rufus. Though the thing is, it has two titles. It came out as Rufus, and when I watched it on Pluto Television, it was under the title Hunted. Well, anyways, this teenage boy named Rufus, and he's a vampire, and he's 100-year-old vampire. And for a while there, he was in an insane asylum. And a crazy old lady got him out of there. Well, actually, she was a crazy young lady when she got him out of there, and they were on the run. And anyways, when the movie starts out, they're going to this this town. It's during winter time. And she tells him, "Oh, well, you just keep going down the road. Someone will help you." And she goes and steps in front of a truck and kills herself. So he ends up being befriended by the town's sheriff. He goes to live with him, with his family, his him and his wife, and they had suffered the loss of their kid. And so they kind of take Rufus on sort of as a replacement. And they don't know about Rufus's, weird thing. I mean, they think that he's a weird kid anyways because he won't eat. And he's just kind of odd. The girl next door absolutely, loves him. I mean, she's kind of a troublemaker and stuff, and supposedly she was, not very popular in the town because she had gotten an abortion because she had dorked the one of the more well-known guys in the town. So anyways, she becomes Rufus's buddy, and her ex-boyfriend, the popular guy in town, he tries to rough Rufus up, and Rufus bites him in the neck and makes him sort of a semi-vampire. Anyways, it's a slow crawl film. It's about him getting used to the town and stuff, and dealing with his bloodthirst and stuff, killing animals and stuff. And then the thing is, all of a sudden, a hunter from the asylum comes tracking him down, and it ends up being a fight between the two of them, And so in the end, Rufus goes and he kills the hunter, and he stays with the sheriff and his wife. And at the end of the film, he actually goes to school with the girl with the bad reputation. So he ends up being like a normal kid. The thing is, as I said, he's about 100 years old. He doesn't know how to read, though, because he's been running around all of his life, trying to get away from hunters, trying to get away, and having to deal with all this killing. So anyways, this one, it was slow, it was interesting. It kind of reminded me of George Romero's Martin, except that this guy actually does have fangs, and he grows like fangs, and he grows claws. And the funniest part of this is that when he attacks, they use tiger roars on it. It's like, why the fuck are you doing tiger roars? On top of that, the soundtrack on this is really weird because it's all guitar music. It's all this positive, friendly guitar music. It's like, what? So anyways, I'll give this one, because it was moderately entertaining, I'll give it a 3. It's not a movie for everybody. You would probably absolutely love it, Mr. Highland. You'd be sitting there going, oh yeah, this is my type of movie. I mean, you'll either love it or you won't, because it's kind of in the league with My Lovers Die First. Remember that one with the...
Wait a minute. No, I think you're thinking of Only Lovers Left Alive. Is that it?
Yes, that one.
Oh, no, I didn't like that movie. I expected something. I expected more out of that movie. Not what they did with it. No.
Yeah, same with me and Rufus.
That movie should have been a hell of a lot better.
Yeah, well, you need to go and see Rufus and tell me how you think of that one.
If they made a movie adaptation out of my first movie, oh my god, I think people would actually.
You mean your first book?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, my first novel. They would. I think it would really make a mark.
Yeah, unfortunately, they'd probably do an art house.
Yes, it actually.
Thinking of
the book, it actually would have an art house feel to it.
Oh, great!
But come on, that doesn't necessarily mean it would be bad.
No, I mean, if you actually got a good director like Guillermo del Toro to do it.
Yeah, I have a number of directors in mind who could do it.
Yeah,
justice.
well, Del Toro would actually make it good.
Yeah, him.
Because your book has kind of a Pan's Labyrinth thing going. Kinda.
Yeah, but not. I think you're thinking of my witch novel that you read partially. But the first novel is different.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Yeah, you haven't read that one yet.
Yeah, I gave this one a 3. It just I mean, almost gave it a 2. But, you know, they tried. They didn't have much of a budget, and they, you know, all they had, you know, all you see is a lot of blood, and you see a little bit of, you know, you see a couple moments of where he grows claws, and that's about it. So I mean, it's not Let Me In or anything of that caliber. So yeah, Rufus, aka Hunted. So remember that, Mr. Highland, when you get your when you actually sign up for Pluto TV.
I have to sign up for it.
Well, all you have to do is it's free television. It's free television, free movies and stuff. It's great. I have it on my phone. You watch movies on your phone. Anyways, lots of art house movies too. Anyway, so that's that one. I can hardly wait for my internet to go back normally, because this is driving me nuts. Having to, you know, have the limitations that I do with this. Alrighty, so anyways, now it is time for the music break. Mr. Highland spent the entire month looking for...
No, I did not.
Music.
It was the entire hour prior to the show.
Okay, take away the fantasy from it. You know,
Well, why lie about it?
Why not? Make people think that you actually did something with it. Yeah, he's looking all month trying to find the perfect music for this.
Nope.
Oh no, I just spent half an hour and I just grabbed a couple of things and just threw them in there.
Well, one song I actually had in mind for quite some time.
Oh, okay. Well,
and I thought, well, might as well use that. And the other one, I just dug up from the hour.
Aha! So you spent months looking for the perfect.
No, not
perfect. There we go. Okay, there we go. So, anyways, yeah, here's our music break. We're get yourselves some coffee or something. I'm gonna get a refill of my green tea. I know Mr. Highland's probably gonna get a refill on his coffee too.
No, can't drink coffee anymore. It gives me a headache.
Okay, he's gonna refill his water.
Yes.
Yes, his Aquafina.
Nope.
Alrighty, so anyways, so and then we'll come back with our movie of the month. Enjoy.
Starting to realize that eternal fate has turned its back on here. It's 2 a.m. It's 2 a.m.
In the year 2525, if man is still alive, if woman can survive, they may find. In the year 3535, ain't gonna need to tell the truth, tell no lies. Everything you think, do, and say is in the pill you took today. In the year 4545, ain't gonna need your teeth, won't need your eyes. You won't find a thing to chew, nobody's gonna look at you. In the year 5555, your arms are hanging limp at your sides. Your legs got nothing to do, some machine doing that for you. In the year 6565, ain't gonna need no husband, won't need no wife. You pick your son, pick your daughter too, from the bottom of a long glass tube. Whoa, whoa. In the year 7510, if God's a-comin', he ought to make it by then. Maybe he'll look around himself and say, guess it's time for the judgment day. In the year 8510, God is gonna shake his mighty head. He'll either say, I'm pleased where man has been, or tear it down and start again. Whoa, whoa. In the year 9595, I'm kinda wondering if man is gonna be alive. He's taken everything this old earth can give, and he ain't put back nothing. Whoa, whoa. Now it's been 10,000 years, man has cried a billion tears for what he never knew. Now man's reign is through, but through eternal night, the twinkling of starlight, so very far away, maybe it's only yesterday. In the year 2525, if man is still alive, if woman can survive, they may find. In the year 3535.
The secret side of me, I never let you see. I keep it caged, but I can't control it. So stay away from me, the beast is ugly. I feel the rage and I just can't hold it. It's scratching on the walls, in the closet, in the halls. It comes awake and I can't control it. Hiding under the bed, in my body, in my head. Why won't somebody come and save me from this? Make it end. I feel it deep within, it's just beneath the skin. I must confess that I feel like a monster. I hate what I've become, the nightmare's just begun. I must confess that I feel like a monster. I feel like a monster. I feel like a monster. My secret side I keep hid under lock and key. I keep it caged, but I can't control it. Cause if I let him out, he'll tear me up, break me down. Why won't somebody come and save me from this? Make it end. I feel it deep within, it's just beneath the skin. I must confess that I feel like a monster. I hate what I've become, the nightmare's just begun. I must confess that I feel like a monster. I feel it deep within, shore. There's no escape for me, it wants my soul, it wants my heart. No one can hear me scream, maybe it's just a dream. Maybe it's inside of me. Stop this monster, I feel it deep within. It's just beneath the skin. I must confess that I feel like a monster. I hate what I've become, the nightmare's just begun. I must confess that I feel like a monster. I feel it deep within, it's just beneath the skin. I must confess that I feel like a monster. I'm gonna lose control, it's something radical. I must confess that I feel like a monster. 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 I feel like a monster.
So we have a containment breach. We lost them. They're out in the open.
Hi.
Hi.
My doctor called in a prescription.
Yes.
You're not Greg.
I'm sort of Greg. We're both over 50 years old. We both used to own a Pontiac Aztec. We both have a lot of experience with drugs. Sorry, pharmaceuticals. So, say my name.
Sort of Greg.
That's right.
That's not my prescription.
It's sort of your prescription.
Mm-mm.
Yes, it is.
No.
Take it.
No.
Take it.
No.
Take it.
No.
Take it. You'll thank me later.
Sorta You isn't you. Esurance helps make sure you only pay for what's right for you, not someone sorta like you. Esurance, backed by Allstate.
Hello, my she devils and demons. This is Nurse Hatchet, she-wolf of the Wolf Pack.
Alrighty, so that was our intermission here. Our music break. Still there, Mr. Highland?
Yeah.
Yep. So, alrighty, so we had our potty breaks and stuff, and got our drinks and that. We're all ready. We are all ready for our movie discussion, and this one outshines our video reviews by 100 times. Galaxies, mind you. So anyways, I'll let Mr. Highland tell you what our movie is that we're going to be discussing tonight.
Yes, and this is called Frankenstein Unbound, and this is a movie I've heard about for many years, and I never got around to watching it, and I didn't realize at first it was based on a novel. But it is, and I managed to squeeze it in amongst my many adventures in novel reading. And I must say it wasn't bad, but it was interesting. I read it in 4 days, and given how unique it was regarding science fiction, I'm surprised it's not more well known.
Yeah, I'm
should be
surprised too. Because this was the love project of Roger Corman. He directed this film.
Yeah.
And he absolutely loved the book. I'd read interviews with him after the film came out, and he said, when the moment I read the book, I wanted to do the movie. And I wanted to do the movie right. So he spent years, shipping his screenplay of the film around trying to get investors for it. Everyone knows that Roger Corman is the B movie king, but he didn't want to make this a B movie. He wanted to make this a film worthy of what he saw in the book.
Yeah. And even though the movie cut stuff out that was in the book, I mean, it's still a faithful enough adaptation.
Oh, I agree on that. But I mean,
I was rather surprised at how good it was.
I mean, when it comes down to it, I mean, it's the story of Frank, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, but you've just added the addition of a time traveler.
Yeah,
into it.
And not only that, it shows that the main character actually meets Dr. Frankenstein and posits the very real theory that Dr. Frankenstein was real.
Yeah. Yeah. And the thing is that he and Dr. Frankenstein were two of a kind because, I can't remember the professor's name. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to review the film. I seen it the last time about 3 years ago.
His name escapes me as well.
But anyways, he and Frankenstein are kind of like brothers in that they're scientists who don't worry about what happens because of their work. This doctor, he was doing experiments with trying to disintegrate things. Take them out of time, because of the pollution situation in the world when he was there, and he finds out, that you can't mess with that. I mean, you mess with that, you mess around with time, and it causes time dilation. It brings things from different times into his time and stuff. It messes with the progression of time itself. And he ends up being the victim of his own creation, his own monster, sort of, because it drags him into the past and sends him he not only sends him into the past, but it sends him where, God, I can't remember where where it was. I mean, it was the town that he was in. But anyways, it was the same place that Mary Shelley and Lord Byron and Percy were they were in the same area there. So, they bring in to the story also the creator of Frankenstein and how she gets inspired by the situations that happen. That's an intriguing part of it. Because the doctor becomes intrigued with Mary Shelley as well. Didn't you find that interesting, Mr. Highland?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, when it came down to it, Roger, he's brilliant. He's brilliant when it comes to his casting on his films and stuff. I mean, he's just natural. I mean, he's like Lloyd Kaufman when it comes to that. Because I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't think that Raul Julia would make a good Dr. Frankenstein, would you?
Oh, come on. He was good in anything.
Yeah, but he's not Dr. Frankenstein. Dr. Frankenstein's supposed to be German.
Well, okay, yeah, but he was such a good actor that he pulled it off.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he did. I mean, he was the, soft-spoken one, and he had, he was very classy and stuff and that. And I mean, I can't remember which actress did hold on a moment.
Bridget Fonda?
I do have my notes.
Bridget Fonda?
Yeah, Bridget Fonda. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, she did a fantastic job as
Yes,
as Mary Shelley.
As Zorak once said, we are Fonda Fonda. If you know what I mean. Fonda Fonda.
And surprisingly, I bet you did not know, Mr. Highland, that Roger Corman's granddaughter played the part of Justine Moritz, the nanny of William Frankenstein, who was murdered.
Oh.
She's the one that gets hanged. Yeah, that was Catherine Corman.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, indeed. She got to play a part in her daddy's film. Daddy's film. Pretty cool, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. And what did you think of Nick Brittle as the monster?
Oh, it was great.
Yeah.
The makeup effects for that were just.
Yeah, well, that was one thing that Roger wanted to be perfect. I mean, he was the one that came up with the idea for the two colored eyes. That the eyes look like they'd been sewn together.
Yeah.
And did you notice who was playing Lord Byron?
Oh. Yeah. Jason Patrick.
Yes, indeed. From Lost Boys. Yes, indeed. Yeah. He actually did pretty good. I mean, he was a little bit young for Lord Byron, though. I mean, I honestly thought that the one in Gothic was a lot closer to Lord Byron than him or the one that they did in Haunted Holiday. Of course, you might disagree on that.
I did okay.
Okay. So, anyways, and we also had Catherine Rabbit as Elizabeth. She actually did a pretty good job, didn't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know I don't know what the actress has done. I mean, she really hasn't done much, but she was actually really good in it. So, anyways, what did you think? Um, the unfortunate thing though on this film was that it was a failure in the box office.
God, that is really unfortunate. I mean, let's face it. There are movies out there from the past that are infinitely worse than this, and that have made more money.
Well, this was a masterpiece.
Yeah.
But the thing is that, and it was one of the most expensive films that Roger Corman had ever directed.
I mean, come on, John Hurt and Raul Julia. I mean, with those actors, how could you go wrong?
I know.
Come on.
I know, but the thing is that the U.S. gross on it was only 334,748.
And a movie about Frankenstein's monster and Dr. Frankenstein. I mean, my God, what more do people want?
Oh, I know. But I mean, film. I mean,
I don't know. Maybe it was bad marketing. I mean, I don't know.
Problem was distribution. Roger ended up having to distribute the film himself, and he was only able to put it in art house theaters and stuff like that. And the problem was that he never got back his budget, because his budget on the film was $11,500,000. And what you have to realize is that at that time, you look at Star Trek To the Wrath of Khan.
Yeah.
Star Trek To the Wrath of Khan was made for $15 million.
Yeah, but I mean, it looks like it was made for more.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like it was made for $20 million. And so does this. This was an incredible, they paid for the locations. I mean, they went to Italy to shoot this film. It was, filmed at Bellagio, Como, and Barcia, Italy. Quite the thing, huh? So, anyways, yeah. Yeah, I know. I mean, when it comes down to the money and stuff, it was actually, it was a hell of a well done movie. I mean, Mr. Highland, what did you think about that car?
It was pretty good. Let's say it was representative of the time period it was representing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But in the book, remember in the book it had that, was it a minigun or a cannon?
Yeah. Yeah, it did.
A cannon like
it did in the movie too.
Yeah.
But it was in the trunk.
Yeah.
Of it. It was the experimental version.
Yeah, but in the book it was utilized quite a bit.
Yeah, it actually was.
I mean, it was used. It was used to kill the creature.
Yeah, I mean Roger changed the ending quite a bit.
Yeah.
You know, just to add a little
That was
bit more
rather
drama to it.
Yeah, that was rather.
I found it interesting.
That was unfortunate. I mean, if he had it just like the book.
I kind of like the thing where he goes in there and the computer on this supercomputer actually recognizes him. And it goes, "Oh, okay. It goes, "Hello, Dr. Devereaux." And he goes, "Hello." And he goes, and he does hand signals, and the thing actually shoots lasers and stuff. And that's how he kills him.
Yeah.
Kills the monster. He chops him up with lasers.
Yeah, but in the book, he just gets shot to hell with the car's gun.
Hmm.
You remember that?
I know, but I still kind of like that ending. You know, and I did like the monster's speech at the end.
Yeah,
You know,
he
can't kill me. I am unbound.
Yeah, he gives a similar speech in the novel as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it's was an interesting thing, and it just this film just shows what an incredible filmmaker Roger Corman actually is, and the fact that if he had had bigger budgets, oh man, what he could have done with a bigger budget. I mean, you look at this, and he had 11 million, well, almost $12 million, and he came up with this. I mean, that this was pretty good. You know, I don't see them ever doing the sequel to this though, which the doctor actually comes back to the present.
Did they do a novel sequel to this or no?
Yes, it was called Dracula Unbound.
Oh, that one. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he somehow gets back to his time, and the thing is, he ends up finding out that that Dracula has found time travel technology, and he's using it to power a time train that he goes to different times, and he uses that to get victims. It was actually Dracula who was Jack the Ripper. And he was different killers throughout time, and he has to stop him. That one would have been a little bit weirder. I mean, this had some really good science fiction moments. It didn't get into the weird Doctor Who-ish type thing like this would have. This would have been almost like a Matt Smith episode with the Dracula.
Can you imagine Doctor Who doing a riff on Frankenstein Unbound? and popularizing these two books in this movie.
Oh yeah,
I can see that happening. I can see that happening, popularizing these books and movies so much to the point where, I mean, they're reissued. People they narrate them for audiobooks, and they get, you know, famous actors to narrate them as well. I mean,
yeah. Unfortunately, John
oh
Hurt,
God.
so he couldn't narrate Frankenstein Unbound.
Well, and maybe get to. I
And
don't know.
Paul Julia's gone, so no Paul Julia.
Oh, they can get someone to do it.
Oh, hell, they could get the guy who played Scorpius on Farscape. He has almost Peter Cushing voice.
Exactly.
Well, actually, he actually did play Peter Cushing's voice in Rogue One. Did you know that?
I don't think so. I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, because he had the same voice pattern in that, and they actually used him in Revenge of the Sith. They had him made up as Peter Cushing for that one shot in the, you know, on the Star Destroyer where they're looking at the halfway built Death Star at the end of the movie. Interesting. So anyways, yeah, you know, I absolutely loved Frankenstein Unbound. You know, I mean, you know, beautiful film work too. I mean the scenes were just fantastic. And you know, you had, instead of this huge brute for a Frankenstein monster, you had a Frankenstein that actually could talk and he could understand and stuff. You know, you know, you didn't really see that in the movies.
Yeah, but I think it would have been even more jarring and probably even scarier if they had a small, thin guy, you know, ripping people apart instead of a big brute. I mean, that's not something people would expect.
Yeah.
I mean, that would have been different, but
but they always go for the big guys for Frankenstein's monster.
Yeah, usually.
Actually, no, they didn't. I mean, you look at I, Frankenstein. He wasn't exactly, you know, he was tall, but he was actually fairly slender. The guy that played Frankenstein in that movie.
Well, I haven't seen that one.
Oh, you got to see that one. That one was very interesting. It was the one where it's the war against the demons and the gargoyles. And Frankenstein's monster is stuck in the middle of it. Yeah, interesting film. Very well done on that one, too. Of course, you know, we're not going to talk a lot about that because I know that when Mr. Highland actually sees that film, he is going to want to do a show on that film, and we're going to be talking about it. We're going to go into depth about it. No, I know this. So, anyways, you know, anything more that you want to mention about Frankenstein Unbound?
No, other than this is a movie that is worth seeing.
Oh, and, definitely worth seeing.
Pleased with it.
Yeah, it's a cult classic. I actually even got one of the. I told you that I actually have the book in my collection.
Yeah, and when I read it, I thought I was going to get the first edition of it. Nope, wasn't. It was a reprint.
No, neither did I.
It was a generic cover. I thought, what's this?
Oh, you got the generic cover? I got the one with
Yeah.
the poster on it, which is the eye.
I got a water cascading cover.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's terrible. I mean, no
I
wonder
know.
I want to read it. You know, I got the eye with the stitches going down the thing and that. Oh, that was great. Or the original edition, which had that fantastic cover.
Yeah, that's the cover I thought I was going to get from the library.
Well, you got to look at the old bookstores and see if you can find yourself a copy of it. You'll probably get it cheap. Probably get it for like $2-3 now. Because that's how I got mine. And I got mine about 20 years ago. And it was $2, believe it or not. Paperback edition. Anyway, so yeah, so any ideas on what we're doing next month?
No, not yet.
No, not yet.
We're just going to have to find out.
Oh God, just as long as it's not Hansel and Gretel witch killers.
No.
No. And no puke fetish films, please.
Nope.
Good. Well, that improves it. And no puppet horror films.
Now, how many do you think of those exist?
I know of at least 4. And I know that there was one that came out last year, which was a puppet slasher film.
I mean, it's a very small niche genre.
Yeah, definitely.
Very small.
Thank God. Oh. God, I hate that. I've been sitting there going, oh boy, I get to watch Thanksgiving 3. God, that was disgusting.
Can you imagine that movie being acted out on stage with puppets at a convention?
No. No.
I am just shocked that doesn't happen.
I could see them doing a Punch and Judy show of Halloween or Nightmare on Elm Street. Could you imagine a puppet Freddy Krueger?
Yes.
With Alice or puppet Jason Voorhees? That would be something.
Yes.
Do
and
have convention.
Instead of a machete, they would have foam bats.
Okay, a foam bat machete. That would be fine.
Exactly.
But Freddy would still have to have his claws.
Foam claws?
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be a fun little thing to do. But it won't ever happen.
Oh, unless come on. I can see it happening.
Yeah, I know. I could see Mr. Highland getting into puppeteering and he'd do his own version of The Fly. He'd do John Carpenter's The The Thing, puppet show of The Thing. Oh my God, I could see that one. Yeah. Or Silence of the Lambs. Of course, you get kicked out for the one scene.
Oh yeah, which one?
You know, the scene where Buffalo Bill's dancing.
Oh, that one? Not any other scene?
Nope. Just that one.
Okay.
Because they'd be sitting there going, hey, you got puppet nudity there. We've got kids watching. Oh, it don't matter if the Freddy Krueger thing is drawing having blood shooting out. No, but if you show Buffalo Bill's schlong, you're in trouble.
There wouldn't be that. There wouldn't be a schlong shown.
Oh, okay.
It wouldn't be anatomically correct.
Okay. Well, anyways, they'd still get you for having nudity on a puppet.
Oh, there wouldn't be that.
Uh-huh. Well, yes, he had a robe on. That's clothes. I mean, how about Dobby and his toga? I mean, give me a break. That would be Mr. Highland's argument. How about Harry Potter with Dobby and the toga? He's nude under that. That he doesn't boxer shorts underneath that toga. Which gets me, Mr. Highland. Why the hell, after Dobby got freed, why the hell didn't he put on a suit or something rather than spending the rest of his life in that nasty ass stinky toga? I mean, yes, he got shoes and socks, but he still had the stinky toga on. God, we're really getting into it, aren't we? With this show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, talking about puppets and CGI characters wearing togas. And talking about puppet schlongs. God damn, that's terrible. Alrighty, so anyways. Yeah. So yeah, I don't unfortunately, Mr. Island, I don't think you're gonna see your slasher film puppet shows at conventions, because I know Adolfo and them would never accept anything like that. They don't have the vision that we do. They'd be sitting there saying, oh, well, you're just wasting our time. We'll put you in the vendor's room. You don't get a stage. You get the vendor's room. You get a table. So you can sit there and play with your dolls. Oh, God. Alrighty, so anyways, any last words for the fans? Because I know we're going a little bit over time here.
No, other than thank you for listening and tune in next time.
Yes, and hopefully we'll have better horror news and better reviews and find something really interesting, Might have zombie bikers or something, or werewolf bikers or something interesting. Alrighty. So anyways, yeah, this is William Pattison and the horror sex symbol Christopher Highland saying, "Keep America strong. Watch horror films."
The love that you bring me along. The pain that you gives me a home. Do you wanna stay by my side? Do you want me to turn and hide? We are disappearing inside, seeing pictures of our goodbyes. We believe that our love will survive the pain that you bring. Brings me all alone. Do you love me? Do you hate me? Do you wanna believe me? Do you think that you don't need me? Do you wanna deceive me? I can't think that it's all over. Don't wanna forget. I can't live this disappointment down. I wanna repress your goodbye, goodbye. The design, we broke them all. The dreams when you see that goodbyes are for long. Please follow me to the borders of destiny. I don't wanna break from your side. The falling ground screams goodbye. Do you love me? Do you hate me? Do you wanna believe me? Do you think that you don't need me? Do you wanna deceive me? I can't think that it's all over. Don't wanna forget. I can't live this disappointment down. I wanna repress your goodbye, goodbye. The design, we broke them all. The dreams when you see that goodbyes are for long. Please follow me to the borders of destiny. I don't wanna break from your side. The falling ground screams goodbye. Please follow me to the borders of destiny. I don't wanna break from your side. The falling ground screams goodbye, goodbye. The design, we broke the mold. The dreams when you see that goodbye so for long.
Speak international.